Hey, Alpha fam, welcome back to another episode of Alpha Commission. Today on Alpha Commission, of course, we're going to go over just the sideways consolidation on the Bitcoin chart and also warn you guys that FTX appears to be hacked. There seems to have been some loopholes built into it, some backdoor entries that would have access to accounts and money, and it does appear to be hacked. I'm not fully updated on the story, but if you do have any access to any FTX apps or anything on your phone for FTX, that sort of thing, then please do delete those and definitely get yourself updated on the latest news. Guys, we do see that Bitcoin is just going sideways here. Now, the threshold for recapturing some momentum is getting lower every day that goes by. However, you do see that the Bitcoin price does just seem to be evading getting into any of these momentum zones. And so we're just not able to capture that momentum to the upside. And we did get a little bit of a hint of it with this kind of reaction bounce, this little bit of a pity bounce right here off of our lows at 15,500. But ever since then, we have just completely failed to miss any targets for any potential bounce and are just going sideways. We can see that we are still in my solidly bearish zone and just hovering above the oh no anyway zone, which does lift up just like our threshold to have some potential bullish momentum does come down. This bottom floor also is coming up. However, overall, you can see we are quite a ways away from a neutral or any type of bullish consideration, but perhaps we could at least get some type of a relief and then see where we could potentially go from there if we are able to get into either today's momentum zone or perhaps put our toe in tomorrow in tomorrow's 2 to 5 day projection. Of course, this isn't guaranteed, it will be updated. This one is valid until this afternoon, but essentially there's been no change since yesterday, so nothing really to update. The only thing that really has been changing is if we do go over to the 1 hour, you can see that we do have a little bit of this. I guess, a descending, broadening wedge here. I don't know exactly how valid this is just because of the intensity of this movement and also this wick over here. But we did break out of that descending broadening wedge, and so you would normally expect some type of a bounce to perhaps take you up, but I feel a little bit skeptical of this. I think maybe this was the play right here, where we can see that this was also a descending broadening wedge, and then we actually did hit the target precisely for that measured move there. And so maybe this larger one is invalidated, but I will keep an eye out to see if there is any possible reaction for us to get perhaps up to this area. But so far, it looks like the system just doesn't have the energy for it. And this formation right here, this descending broadening wedge, is how I was able to consider that we were likely to get up to that 17,500 area. Wasn't really sure exactly where in this area that we would be targeting, but we did actually hit the full measured move. And then, of course, we also had a rising wedge, which I pointed out to you, which we did have the breakdown, and the breakdown measured move did go exactly as the technical analysis would suggest. And then since then we've just been going flat, but we have broken out of this downtrend if we just ignore this wick right here. And even if we do consider that wick, we have also, of course, broken out and actually retested it. So Getting back into these momentum areas after essentially leaving this system, no matter how you want to measure it, we've pretty much left this drop system here. We do have to be open-minded that this chart could perhaps put some type of mean reversion, some type of just smoothing of the averages and to go the other direction. But for now, it just seems to have no energy. The market seems to be very depressed by all of the news coming out of FTX and the Alameda research, which of course just had their fingers all over all of the really interesting projects in crypto. And so, if I do just pull up some of the charts that we can see, maybe maybe my let's see, Twitter's not really letting me download the image that I had here. Just 1 second, I'll take a screenshot. Let's see, there we go. Okay, so if you can see, just how many projects that Alameda Research and FTX were involved in terms of their investment, these projects presumably will have to be partially sold off, in some type of bankruptcy proceedings, or they are being, just sold off in order to cover whatever debts may occur right now, including legal fees and whatnot. So there's a lot at risk. We don't know the exact percentage of investment in all of these projects that Alameda and FTX were involved in, but you can see that just they had their fingers in everything. They had a lot of money flowing into everything. And so the fact that they are, in trouble, it does put all of this system in trouble as well. So, yeah, guys. And again, I didn't make this graphic. This was courtesy of the block, but so you guys can double check that yourselves. But this is a, good, just kind of visual interpretation of just how far-reaching Alameda and FTX are. With that being said, I did just want to update the alpha momentum scale over here so that you did have something just to look out for. I really wouldn't be taking any longs unless we were above 17, 1015. We have been playing with a little bit of nice numbers compared to the, compared to yesterday and the day before, but it's just not in any type of bullish zone. You saw that as soon as we got into my momentum pool, we did have a nice kind of kick in the charts there. But so long as we're underneath 17,015, I just don't see us having any momentum to the upside whatsoever. And the bias is strongly to the downside. I do think that we are probably going to, test our range lows at a minimum if we do violate this 16,740. If we are able to get above 18,089, I'm going to be much more open-minded to perhaps a bounce to the higher end of this range, especially if we get above that neutral point at 18,455. I will have to, switch to some bullish perspective and to be open-minded to price action to the upside on perhaps, even this being just kind of a fake out due to FTX worries and whatnot. If we are able to get above that, 19,415 solidly. Of course, that's front runnable at 18,865. And then, I think essentially it will have been just a fake out move, just some type of a panic if we do get above that 20,898 mark, according to today's momentum calculations. All right, guys, that was your alpha for the day. Stay safe and happy trading.